Hi guys and welcome to Thruzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What you are looking at are brand new Triumph motorcycles in the 400cc space. This is the Speed 400 and that is the Scrambler 400X. These are one of the many motorcycles that are supposed to come on the 400cc platform. And what are they going to do? They are going to challenge a lot of motorcycle manufacturers in this space. What Triumph has done here is showcased a performance oriented motorcycle in the 400cc space. At the same time, they have that retro charm. With the Speed 400 is a sort of a single cylinder derivative of the Speed Twin, while the Scrambler is of course a Scrambler with a 400cc engine. Both of them share the platform entirely with bare minimum changes to each other, because of course they have different roles. And like I said, there are going to be a lot of motorcycles. We expected the Bonneville to come as a to debut, but here it's the Speed and the Scrambler that are making the debut. So a slower, slightly detuned version of Bonneville could come in the future, which could target the of course the Royal Enfield 350 and the Honda CB 350 and the Java ISDs and all of that. So that is a separate story for a separate day. Right now we have two surprisingly very good looking motorcycles, very mini Triumphs indeed. The Speed 400 and the Scrambler 400 have the same specs. What is going to be different, I'm going to be explaining that of course as well. But what right now we have in common is a liquid cooled 4 valve DOHC single cylinder engine which displaces 398.15 cc. It has a bore of 89 mm and it has a stroke of 64 mm. So it's an over square engine, making most importantly 40 ps of power and 37.5 newton meters of torque. And the power comes at as early as 8000 rpm and torque comes at around 6500 rpm. Of course, it's a electronic throttle control with electronic fuel injection, and it has an X-ring chain, a welt multi-clutch plate assist, so you are getting slipper clutch basically, mated to an obvious 6-speed gearbox. Here, when it comes to chassis, it gets a hybrid spine, perimeter, tubular steel frame with a bolt-on rear subframe. This is what the spec says right now. We've not seen the bike, so what I'm telling you are the specs of the motorcycle. And the swing arm, of course, is a twin-sided unit. The front and rear wheels, of course, on the Speed are 17-inch wheels. Meanwhile, the Scrambler gets a 19-inch front wheel with a 17-inch wheel at the back. The 19-inch wheel at the front on the Scrambler has a 190 section. Meanwhile, the Scrambler has a 140/80 rear tire with a 17-inch wheel. While the Speed 400 has a very similar or much more familiar layout with a 110/70/17 at the front and 150/60 at the back. Both now get common suspensions. At the front you get a 43 mm upside down fork with a 140 mm travel on the Speed and 150 mm travel on the Scrambler. There is a gashed monoshock at both these motorcycles. The rear suspension travel on the Speed is 130, while the monoshock on the Scrambler 400X makes do with 150 wheel travel. So more wheel travel at the front and at the back over the Speed in the Scrambler 400. Both of course get same brakes, 300 mm fixed disc, 4 piston calipers, radial calipers, and at the back you're getting a 230 mm fixed disc floating caliper along with ABS. You've got a similar analog speedometer and integrated multifunction LCD screen on the bike, which we've seen in the past with other Triumph model as well. So it's very similar to that. So a lot of similarities with the older Triumphs, with the Triumphs which are on sale right now in higher capacities. This clearly makes what I said earlier in the video, is the fact that these are very mini Triumphs, entry level Triumphs with all that styling, all that goodness that everybody likes about these retro and yet quick and fast and very modern motorcycles. Coming to more specifications, the seat height on the Speed 400 is a dramatically low 790 mm, while on the Scrambler 400 you are getting a slightly approachable 835 mm. which we've seen, on KTM's. So this should not be that bad for short riders. And you are getting a rake of 24.6 degrees on the Speed 400, which is higher than the Scrambler, which has a 23.2 rake at the front. So surprising, the Scrambler should be more engaging to ride. And even the trail, but the trail on the Speed is lower, and the trail is higher on the Scrambler with 108 mm of trail, while the Speed has 102 mm of trail. Curb weight, slightly big difference. The Speed 400 makes does weigh 170 kilograms, while the Scrambler 400X weighs 179 kilograms. So there's a 9 kilos of difference in both of them. Both of them are have 13 liters of fuel tank. So of course these bikes are Euro 5 homologated, they have to be. And that's what we can tell you right now. We've told you the way they look, the way they've been made, and they look like mini Triumphs. 400cc single cylinder, made in India by Bajaj at their Chakan facility. That's where we'll be seeing the bikes as well next week. So come there, follow us there for the videos that will come on the 5th of July, and then we'll be riding it shortly as well, so you will have a ride impression as well. Stay tuned to our channel, follow us on Instagram, social media and website for everyday updates. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until then, goodbye.